Hi, I'm Julien Jooles Peppet, and I've been riding bikes on-road, off-road, competitively and for fun for about the last 40 years. And today, XLMOTO have asked me to come in to give you a brief guide on the different styles and types of jackets that are available. A motorcycle jacket is undoubtedly probably one of the most stylish pieces of kit that you're going to own. They kind of have an unexplainable aura or mystique, and making one feels like you could kind of ride around the world wearing it. However, before you want to grab yourself a decent jacket, you probably want to have a good idea of what's out there, because there are several styles available, not to mention all the different fabrics and all the features available. Now, we'd probably recommend against wearing just a regular old jacket on a motorbike, because motorbike jackets are basically designed to provide protection, okay? So they come with abrasion resistance and they come with impact protection, which is going to help you. Most jackets have been independently tested under crash conditions to test their performance. Now, this comes with a CE rating, which stands for Conformity European. Now, that rating is generally a 17092 rating, and you'll see that on the inside label of any jacket that you'll purchase, providing it has it. Now, that in turn is broken down into 4 categories, and they are B, A, AA, and AAA. So, B is essentially an urban jacket, but it contains no crash protection internally. Then we have A, which is also an urban jacket, but this does come with crash protection. And then AA is generally intended for sort of touring jackets and more long-distance jacket, and that provides great protection. And then AAA offers the highest level within the standard. Now, you might also find some kit which is tested to 13595, and within that there are 2 levels, which are 1 and the higher level is 2. So to start with, we'll look at a sport bike jacket or a naked bike jacket. Okay, so these jackets are intended to be ridden at high speed. They provide a great level of protection because it's made from leather, which has great abrasion resistance. So sport bike and race jackets are designed to be close, tight fitting. That's so there's nothing flapping around when you're flying along at 100 or 200 kilometers an hour. They will also have an ergonomic design. So the elbows will already be pre-shaped so that you're into the rider's position. They will also be shorter on the back of the jacket, so when you're sat upright, the jacket doesn't actually dig into yourself. So leather jackets have come a long way, and so what you'll find these days is that you'll have inset panels which will provide ventilation. You will also have accordion panels on both the elbows and sometimes on the back of the jacket too. And this just provides for a level of comfort and fit. They'll usually be adjustable around the waistline, so again, that just makes it a little bit more comfortable and stops the jacket flailing around. From a safety perspective, sports bike jackets generally have great padding on the elbows, because that's the first thing that's going to hit the deck, and on the shoulders. Additionally to this, you'll normally find back protectors in there, which will protect the back and the sternum should you go down on your back. These days, you might even find that they'll have airbags. So a lot of the jackets will have built-in airbags, and the minute you're off the back, that will self-inflate and protect you the minute that you hit the ground. Next, we're going to look at a touring jacket. And touring jackets are intended for long journeys, long distances while you're riding on the bike. They have a looser cut, so it makes it more comfortable while you're on the bike. They do generally come with good elbow protection and good shoulder protection. And they're basically designed to protect you against all the elements. So should you be riding through rain, through snow, through cold, these jackets will be able to protect you while you're riding your bike. Now, in terms of the features, because it's supposed to be a jacket that's intended for multi-use, so, whether you're riding through the Alps at high altitude and it's freezing cold, or you're riding in the UK where it's pouring down with rain, or you're riding in the south of Spain where it's boiling hot. The idea is that it's a multifunctional jacket. So most of these jackets will come with removable liners. There will generally be a liner for insulation, so a thermal liner, and then there will also be a liner for waterproofness. And that means that basically you can adapt the jacket to whichever needs you require while you're on a long distance journey. The other features that they'll have are things like pockets on the front. So this makes it really easy to grab things on the go, because when you're on a bike, let's say you come up to a border somewhere and you need to grab a passport or you need to grab your phone, big pockets on the front make that super easy to do that. The other thing, obviously, ventilation. If you're spending long hours on a bike and let's say you're in southern Italy somewhere, it's going to be warm. So a lot of these jackets come with ventilation zippers. There'll usually be ventilation zippers on the chest. You'll find ventilation zippers on the arms. And also, if you turn the jacket over, there's also ventilation zippers on the back. And basically that means that it allows the airflow to come in through the front, pass around your body and move out of the back without the jacket bellowing up. So if you need a great all-round jacket where you're going to be traveling to different places and there's going to be different climates, then a touring jacket could possibly be for you. So adventure and dual sport jackets. They're very similar to touring jackets, but they're kind of intended to be used off-road. So in general, you will find that they have higher spec materials because you're riding down lanes, you're riding off-road, you might fall off, you could hit a rock, there's going to be brambles, there's going to be bushes. So you're going to want a tough, sturdy, robust jacket. Okay, so same thing again, we have padding on the elbows, but you'll notice that this has additional layers of fabric on the elbows. So when you're like pushing and scraping through things, it's not going to ruin the jacket. The same on the shoulders, we have additional padding on there, and that means that it's going to be a lot tougher than just a standard touring jacket. The pockets, the same principle, they'll generally be a little bit larger because you're probably going to have more gear when you're riding off-road. The ventilation, super important. So ventilation on these jackets, there's usually a little bit more ventilation. So here we will have ventilation on the chest, but you'll also have pockets that include ventilation. So if it's super hot, you can kind of open up the pockets, you can open up the chest vents, and it'll allow plenty of airflow to go through. Now on this particular jacket, there is also ventilation on the front. So it can either be zipped directly to the jacket, which means that it will stop any air. So let's say you're at 5,000 meters and it's blowing a hoolie and it's freezing cold. You don't want any air going through. However, there's an insert panel. So it allows you to actually zip that out and it'll allow additional airflow through the front of the jacket. Other than that, the same thing on the back. We have vents, so it'll allow the airflow to travel around the body. We generally have additional storage pockets because, again, you don't want to be grabbing things off the back of your bike and going in your backpack, so you have a big pocket on the back. And then finally, a lot of these jackets will come with the back protectors because, again, you're riding off-road, you want to be safe. And the final detail on this particular one, it comes with a kidney belt. So basically that will it'll hold yourself in, but it'll also hold the jacket to you, so the jacket's not moving around the whole time. So yeah, very similar to touring jackets, but just for a little bit more adventurous journeys. So urban jackets are designed with safety, style and comfort in mind. You're not going to be going off-road, so you don't need all the heavy fabrics that you have on both the touring or the adventure dual sport jackets. So here we have a water-resistant jacket. Basically, it comes with a lining inside. There are pockets on the inside to put your wallet. There are handy pockets down the bottom. It also includes armour on both the elbows and the shoulders, as well as ventilation, so should you be riding into work on those hot days, you can allow a little bit of airflow around the body and not get into work too sweaty. So one important feature on jackets to not overlook when you're riding in city urban environments is to look for reflective panels or reflective detailing. Because when you're in the city, there's lots of cars, there's lots of people, there's lots of traffic. You're going to want to make sure you're seen. So on this particular jacket, we have reflective panels on the shoulders, we have reflective panels on the side, and you turn the jacket over, we have a reflective panel on the back. So it ensures that you're going to be seen and not get hit. Okay, so now we're going to look at leather jackets. And leather jackets have been a staple for bikers for years. Now, over the years, they've kind of changed a little and there's various styles available depending on what kind of bike you wear. But the traditional leather jacket had its origins in the earlier 20th century. They were popularized after World War II when they became a sign of kind of rebellion and freedom. And then they were popularized by films like Marlon Brando in The Wild One and James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause. So we're going to run through a couple of leather jackets just to show you the few various styles that are available. Okay, so first we'll take a look at the traditional biker jacket. Okay, so this is what kind of set the scene way back. So essentially they have like wide lapels, and they're normally like buttoned down, so that stops the lapels from kind of flapping around in the wind. They also have a stand-up collar, buckles. They have an asymmetrical zip, and the idea behind that was that there was a fabric layer behind the zip so that would stop any wind and air from coming through. Now on jackets these days you'll also get zips on the arms, and that just makes things a little bit easier to get your arms in and out. Once they're on, you can zip it up and place your gloves over the top. So while you can still get the traditional look of the original leather jacket, the different fabrics and the materials have been brought up to date. So these days you will find that most of the jackets will, as well as having additional padding, will have protection on the inside. They will also have sometimes protection on the shoulders. This particular one allows you to place an insert in the back. And of course, leather is still a great product for abrasion resistance. So if you were to come off the bike and slide down the road, you're going to find the leather takes the wear and not you. Next we have a classic cafe racer jacket. These are along the lines more of a minimalist jacket. They will have a stand-up collar. These days they will introduce some of the fabric inserts, which means there's additional stretch on both the side and within the arms. They do come with protection on both the elbows, and they will come with protection on the top. But the whole idea is it's a jacket that you can wear on your bike, but you're going to look just as cool when you get off your bike and walk into the cafe. So, you've chosen your jacket, you've decided on the style. The final thing you need to know is what size jacket do I buy? So generally jackets will come in either alphanumeric or numerical. So you might have a small, medium or large, or you might have a chest size. Now the important thing to do is to look at the size chart of the garment that you're going to purchase, because on that size chart it will ask you or tell you which measurements you really need. So the first measurement is your chest measurement, and this is just generally taken underneath the armpit. So take a soft measuring tape, place it round your back, around your chest, and without breathing in too much, just light breaths, find out where that tape rests. And that will be your chest measurement. In my case, we're looking at a 38 size chest. The next measurement that you'll probably want to take is your waist size, and for your waist size, it is a little bit different to your jean size. So your true waist size is measured around your belly button. And same thing again, don't breathe in too much, breathe out too much. It just wants to be a little bit loose around the waist. And the final measurement that you'll require is usually your arm length. Now normally I'd ask for my glamorous assistant to come along and help me, however we don't have her today. So instead I'm going to use a little piece of duct tape. I'm going to place it on my shoulder in the correct place. I'm going to run the tape down over the elbow and to my wrist, and that will give you the final measurement that you require to get the perfectly sized jacket. Now there is just one thing. If you're going to wear a race jacket, they do sometimes come up a little bit shorter because they're meant and intended to be worn with gauntlet gloves. So don't worry if that measurement's a little bit shorter. So to summarize jackets, you know, there is a vast choice of jackets available out there. But what you've got to really ask yourself is, where are you going to be riding and what conditions are you going to be riding in? Because there's no point having a jacket that's thin and lightweight, but you're going somewhere cold. There's no point having a jacket that's lined and heavy if you're going to go somewhere hot. However, there is a jacket for everybody out there, and if you'd like to go check the XLMOTO website, you'll be able to find a jacket that's just for you.